Feel it coming in the air.
Right now, we're at a point where we're finishing the process of fully clearing my name. We've had a lot of things that have been said about us that have been untrue.
I'm addicted to the thrill.
I'm ready.
It's a dangerous love affair.
You know, it's unfortunate because it's all been part of politics. It's all been about things that people wanted to achieve to try to block me from being governor back in 2019 and to do some other fairly nefarious things. And what we said is we're always going to stick to the truth.
Not long ago, we saw 2 body bags on gurneys rolled out of the Fairfax family home. Just after midnight overnight, police found Cerina dead and found former Lieutenant Governor Cerina Fairfax.
What is that? Do you know the song?
Baby shark.
Mommy. No, keep going. I love it.
I don't know much more than what I'm seeing reported. They're in the middle of a divorce, but what a horrible thing. They're 2 children who are teenagers. It was one of the children who called the police, and so I'm just really thinking about those kids.
440 Alpha, 441 Alpha, Frank Alpha, struck her a stabbing area. Claire's thinking that his dad might have stabbed his mom, saying that she's laying on the ground bleeding, see holes in her shirt. Certified about a minute ago, unknown where his father is now.
Fairfax was once a rising star among Democrats. He was poised to become Virginia's next governor until 2 women accused him of sexual assault.
Why are you coming forward? Is that the Virginia people need to know who it is that they elected. They need to know.
It happened to her after it happened to me. And had I had the strength or the courage to say something in 2000, maybe it never would have happened to her.
Fairfax maintains that both women are making false accusations. In a statement to CBS News, the lieutenant governor said this to us: "I am able to hear the pain they have expressed, pain I hope they are able to resolve and heal. However, because I never assaulted either Dr. Tyson or Ms. Watson, I know that my actions cannot be the source of that pain."
Cerina Fairfax filed for divorce from Justin in 2025. Just last month, a Fairfax County judge granted custody of the children to Cerina and ordered Justin to move out of the home by the end of April. In the custody opinion, a judge wrote, quote, "The wife testified that heavy daily alcohol consumption by the father has become the norm. The evidence also showed that in 2022, the father purchased a handgun with money intended for his children's horseback riding lessons."
This has been an ongoing domestic dispute surrounding what seems to be a complicated or messy divorce.
Executive Director Jacqueline Corin says Dr. Fairfax's death speaks to a larger issue of how Black women are disproportionately impacted by incidences of gun-related domestic violence.
Their experiences are often left out of the broader conversation, so our intention here was to uplift those stories, those women, and if we're not naming who is most affected, we're not building solutions that actually meet the scale or the reality of the problem.
We gonna run this town.
Dr. Cerina Fairfax was a respected dentist in Northern Virginia, known for her dedication to patients, colleagues, and community. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Duke University and went on to receive her Doctor of Dental Surgery degree from Virginia Commonwealth University School of Dentistry in 2005. After completing advanced residency training, she co-owned Dr. Fairfax and Associates Family Dentistry in Oakton, where she treated families from across the region for many years. Professionally, Dr. Fairfax was an active member of leading dental organizations, including the American Dental Association and the Omicron Kappa Upsilon Dental Honor Society, which recognizes academic excellence. Colleagues described her as disciplined, detail-oriented, and committed to service. Patients often remembered her for her attentiveness and genuine concern that extended beyond routine dental care.
Most loving, caring people. It wasn't just a profession for her, right? It was an expression of love and compassion. It was her way of service to others. I'm not getting another dentist. That's how much she means to me. I just not.
What do you think she'd have to say about that?
She'd be laughing right now and telling me I'm stupid. Cerina is a real person and an accomplished person, quiet person, and there's personal things. And I understand me not knowing, and I don't think anyone did. Not to this extent.
Friends consistently described her as deeply devoted to her children and protective of their well-being. Cerina met Justin Fairfax while both were students at Duke University. Their relationship began during their college years, long before either achieved professional or public prominence. The couple married on June 17, 2006 in Arlington, Virginia, in an outdoor ceremony at the Netherlands Carillon Gardens, with their reception held at top of the town. They later had 2 children, a teenage son and a teenage daughter. Over nearly 2 decades together, they built a family while pursuing demanding careers in healthcare and law. Outwardly, Justin Fairfax often presented that family life publicly. On social media, he regularly shared photos and posts highlighting his children and celebrating their accomplishments, projecting the image of a close and supportive household.
Nice and easy. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes,
Now, next
sir.
row. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, that's perfect.
Yes, sir.
Go. Keep going.
Let's go.
That's perfect, yeah.
Pierce has the cutting skills.
Keep going. That's perfect. Keep going.
Last row. Well, second to last row. One more row after this.
Keep
One
going.
more
Keep
row.
going. Turn over. That's perfect.
Okay, turn it off. Now, turn it off.
Perfect.
Get some jitters out the hand.
All right, what is that? Do you know the song?
Baby shark.
Mommy. No, keep going. I love it.
He lived in Fairfax, Virginia, and listed Washington, D.C. as his hometown. Fairfax attended DeMatha Catholic High School from 1992 to 1996 before studying public policy at Duke University. He later earned his law degree from Columbia Law School as part of the class of 2005. After completing his education, he pursued a legal career, eventually founding Fairfax Law PLLC. He publicly identified as a devoted Christian and shared videos of himself speaking in church settings, often discussing justice, advocacy, and moral responsibility.
In many ways, we heard about storms. I think this is very much like a storm. And if I could, Pastor, if I could just ask everyone, say these 3 words with me: spectacular,
spectacular,
cruelty,
cruelty,
glory.
glory.
Can we do it one more time? Spectacular,
Spectacular,
cruelty,
cruelty,
glory.
Lord.
That's his life.
My Lord.
And that's the impact that he had. William Jr. is and was a spectacular human being. Absolutely spectacular in every way.
Yeah.
He lit up a room. He was brilliant. Lifted everyone up. Loved to be around him. Loved to talk with him. Loved to hear about all the things that he was doing. And in this moment, and we're all feeling it, because I know I felt it too, and pastor and co-pastor have helped us to get through this. It feels cruel in this moment to take away a bright light at 24 years old. It felt cruel. Why is this happening? Why? Why now? But God has a plan. And his plan involves glory.
Glory.
And
Yes,
just
sir.
like a storm,
Yes, sir.
I thought about the fact that William Jr. went to the highest levels of government, as you've heard. He is presidents and governors. We grow, we free each other. When you don't have that, you can't breathe. And when you can't breathe, guess what? You die. Same thing with communities. So, I'm going to end this story very soon, but so Jesus is freeing people, even as he's being crucified. They killed him because he was too good to people. He was too kind to people. Who do you think you are? How dare you? And this is why I know we serve a God who cannot end a story on cruelty. Because guess what? Friday night they killed him. Took him out on the cross, stuck him in a tomb, with a boulder that 100 men couldn't move. Put 2 centurions out in front of it, right? And on Saturday, man, definitely won. They were doing a victory dance. You hear what I'm saying? They had done a lap. Is this your King of Kings? Y'all seen Black Panther? Is this your king? Is this your king? You hear what I'm saying? Is this your king? But let me tell you something, Antioch and Culpeper, and you get on your feet, because early one Sunday morning, we serve a God who does not know how to end the story on cruelty. He never has, he never will. I will see William Fairfax Jr. again. You will see your loved ones again. We will see each other again. We serve a God who does not know how to end the story of cruelty. If you have faced cruelty in your life, if the last thing that happened to you before you walked into the doors of this amazing church today, if the last thing that happened to you was cruel, you better come in here and give a shout. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. It doesn't sound rational, right? You better give a shout. Here's why. Because what that means is that God is not done authoring your story. Man ends stories of cruelty. When we have a law enforcement officer killed, it's one of the most horrific things that I've ever seen. But they still, every single day, put that badge on. And they walk out of their houses, right? And I want them to come home to their families. I come from a law enforcement family. Let's be very clear, okay? And they do it every day, knowing they risk their lives. But even when an officer is killed, they know that's not the end of the story. When a young man is killed, or a young woman is killed, I'm representing Donovan Lynch, the cousin of Pharrell Williams. We had a $3 million settlement in that case. I'm representing DeShayla Harris, who was also killed on that night. I'm representing 5 of the 12 families in the mass shooting in Virginia Beach. Because we serve a God that does not know how to end the story on cruelty. They thought for years that was the end of the story. It's not the end of the story. God does not know how to end the story on cruelty.
He maintained relationships within political and media circles, including a close friendship with Roland Martin, whom he frequently praised and with whom he shared aspects of his lieutenant governor campaign.
Roland, how's the brother doing in the polls?
Well, I can tell you, doing very well. You raised more money than anybody else.
We have raised over $1 million in the election, which is far more than anyone else. Absolutely. So thank you all for your support, and also from more than 4,000 donors. And so we have gotten support from an incredible.
What are the polls looking like?
Our internal polls have us up.
He thanked Roland for his support during his campaign, noting that he gave Martin his first interview after he was elected.
So much of the nonsense that happens in politics, I want you all to know that I walk with my head held high and I stay very focused on the task at hand because this is so much bigger than any one person. And I want to leave you with this. Roland, who is an extraordinary leader, I did my first interview after we got elected as Lieutenant Governor with Roland Martin, because this is a man who is leading this country to a better place. And we need his voice in the nation like we have never needed before. And so, I support the work that he's doing, and I will tell you, folks have asked, well, how do you all stay focused? Why do you get up? Why do you continue this work even in the midst of people trying to tear you down with lies and with falsehoods and with nonsense? And I tell them that we come from a God who can do all things. And my favorite scripture is Timothy, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. I was born on 2:17. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I need you to use your power.
Justin served as Virginia's lieutenant governor from 2018 to 2022.
I'm Justin Fairfax, and every morning I'm up early for my most important job.
More peanut butter, Daddy.
As prosecutor, Justin Fairfax fought drugs, crime, and human trafficking. That's why he's endorsed by Virginia law enforcement.
Buckle up. Nothing's more important than keeping them safe and helping them prosper. As your lieutenant governor, I'll work to grow the economy and invest in schools and career training, because Virginia's families need more results, not more politics.
After being elected a former federal prosecutor, he was initially viewed as a rising political figure and was well liked in many community and professional spaces.
I, Justin Fairfax.
I, Justin Fairfax,
solemnly
swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
all the duties incumbent upon me
as
Lieutenant Governor of Virginia according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
He delivered a commencement address at Virginia State University and was featured in national media coverage highlighting his role in shaping Black political leadership in Virginia. That trajectory shifted in 2019 when 2 women publicly accused Justin Fairfax of sexual assault related to incidents from years earlier. Vanessa Tyson, a scholar affiliated with Stanford University and an associate professor at Scripps College, alleged that Fairfax forced her to perform oral during a 2004 encounter. Fairfax denied the claim and said the encounter was consensual.
What do you want to happen to Justin Fairfax? Why are you coming forward?
In my ideal world, I'd want him to resign. There were two main reasons why I came forward, right? Like, there's a million reasons not to come forward, right? It's tough. I'm not gonna lie. But I look at my beautiful students. I have the most wonderful kids. They're brilliant and thoughtful and kind and passionate, and they want to make the world a better place. And I teach politics, and then they want to get involved. And all I can think of is that I don't want this to ever, ever, ever happen to them. And then the second thing that I think is that the Virginia people need to know who it is that they elected. They need to know. I think the Virginia people, the voters of Virginia, have a right to know, both my story and Meredith's story. I think there should be a public hearing. I think that...
Not an investigation.
There's a difference between hearings and investigations, and investigations often allow people in power to sweep things under the rug, right? And that's just, kind of a pattern that I, as a political scientist, that I've witnessed and seen emerge, right?
A hearing, you'd be prepared to testify in front of the Virginia General Assembly.
In front of the Virginia General Assembly under oath. I would want Meredith, myself, and Mr. Fairfax to be able to speak, to be heard. And particularly for survivors, I think this is incredibly important. They need to be heard. We need to be seen, right? And we need to be treated as the human beings that we are.
2 days later, Meredith Watson accused Fairfax of sexually assaulting her in 2000 while both were students at Duke University. Watson stated that the assault was premeditated and aggressive, and that the two were friends but not romantically involved. Her legal counsel said she disclosed the assault to friends at the time through emails and messages, and that former classmates corroborated her account.
Why do you feel guilty?
It happened to her after it happened to me. And had I had the strength or the courage to say something in 2000, maybe it never would have happened to her.
Fairfax denied this allegation as well, maintaining the encounter was consensual. Fairfax characterized the accusations as a political smear campaign. He appeared on Roland Martin's show, which featured a segment titled They Lie, and discussed his claims after filing a $35 million defamation lawsuit against New York Public Radio.
He has been fighting these charges. The FBI is investigating whether or not someone investigating the allegations behind him. He had been calling for this for quite some time. Now, what he has done further is he is now filing a $35 million lawsuit against New York Public Radio after they aired an interview calling him a this is his first interview since filing that lawsuit. And we're now joined by the former Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, Justin Fairfax.
Thank you so much, Roland. It's great to be with you. And I think we're going to be live in video in a little bit, but it's so great to be with you.
Okay. And of course, we always do full disclosure. Justin is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, so am I. He's also a member of Beta Nu, Sigma Pi Phi fraternity, the Boulay. I'm in the same chapter, and so it's always important to have full disclosure. So tell us this. Why are you now filing this lawsuit? What is the most recent thing that happened?
Yeah, Roland. Well, right now we're at a point where we're finishing the process of fully clearing my name. As you know, for the past 3.5 years, unfortunately, we have been going through a tremendous smear campaign, and we've had a lot of things that have been said about us that have been untrue, a lot of false statements that have been made, defamatory statements. And, it's unfortunate because it's all been part of politics. It's all been about things that people wanted to achieve to try to block me from being governor back in 2019 and to do some other fairly nefarious things. And what we said is we're always going to stick to the truth. We're always going to focus on the people of Virginia. And that's really what has kept us going.
Again, the lawsuit specifically is naming New York Public Radio. What happened there? Was there an interview that was done with one of your accusers?
Yes, a little over a year ago, there was an interview on New York Public Radio. And again, there were some tremendously defamatory statements that were made, provably false statements. And also, there had been some previous court rulings by the Fourth Circuit and by the Eastern District of Virginia, where they clearly said that if these things, which were known at the time, were not put forward, these exonerating pieces of evidence were not put forward at the same time that these false allegations were raised again, then you would have actual malice, which is what the standard is for public figures, and then you can proceed with the defamation action. So, this broadcast went on, so totally eviscerated the Fourth Circuit's decision and guidance, and continue to carry out the defamatory smear campaign. And so we want to really make sure that we're not only holding people accountable for what they've done here, but I don't want this to be done to anyone else. No one in America have to be subject to this kind of a smear campaign, to not be given due process, not to hear their name. I think for 3.5 years this has gone on, and it's been 3.5 years too long. And I want to make sure that this does not happen to anyone else.
The allegations emerged amid broader political turmoil in Virginia as Governor Ralph Northam faced calls to resign over a racially offensive yearbook photo, and Attorney General Mark Herring acknowledged wearing blackface during college. A federal judge dismissed the case, ruling that Fairfax failed to show actual malice or intentional wrongdoing. That did not prevent him from repeatedly revisiting the allegations. Although Fairfax completed his term as lieutenant governor, the controversy stalled his political advancement. In 2021, he ran for governor, but lost the primary and later returned to private legal practice. However, before leaving office, he argued during the gubernatorial debate that he was the victim in the situation. He criticized fellow Democrats for calling for his resignation, stating that everyone on the debate stage, including Terry McAuliffe, had assumed his guilt without due process. He added that he was treated like George Floyd and Emmett Till, arguing that he was denied fairness and presumption of innocence. Not long afterward, the Fairfax's marriage deteriorated. Court records show that Cerina Fairfax filed for divorce and that the proceedings became increasingly contentious. Despite their separation, the couple continued living in the same Annandale home, sleeping in separate bedrooms while attempting to co-parent their children.
Cerina Fairfax filed for divorce from Justin in 2025. Just last month, the Fairfax County judge granted custody of the children to Cerina and ordered Justin to move out of the home by the end of April. In the custody opinion, a judge wrote, quote, "The wife testified that heavy daily alcohol consumption by the father has become the norm." The court documents say Justin Fairfax spiraled into alcoholism and isolated himself from family involvement following the 2019 sexual assault allegations against him while he was in office. Allegations he denied, but still weighed on him tremendously, the judge wrote. During the custody battle, the judge also found, quote, "The evidence also showed that in 2022, the father purchased a handgun with money intended for his children's horseback riding lessons."
In January 2026, police responded to the home after Justin Fairfax alleged that his wife had assaulted him. Investigators reviewed interior surveillance footage installed by Dr. Fairfax and determined that no assault had occurred. By the time April arrived, the marriage was no longer simply strained, but legally fractured, with court rulings, custody changes, and forced separation compounding the tension inside the household. What had once once appeared outwardly stable had narrowed into a volatile and uncertain domestic reality. In the hours after midnight, on April 16, 2026, the situation inside the Annandale home unraveled rapidly. What began quietly escalated behind closed doors, setting off a chain of events that would end in irreversible loss. Just after 12 a.m., Fairfax County Police say the violence began inside their family home. Both Justin Fairfax and Cerina Fairfax were inside the residence at the time, along with their 2 teenage children. The Camelot neighborhood in Annandale is an affluent residential area known for large single-family homes, high household incomes, and relatively low crime. Home values often range from the high $800,000 to well over $1 million, and many residents work in professional or government-related fields. Violent crime is uncommon in the neighborhood, making incidents there particularly notable within the community. Sadly, in the quiet, early hours of the April 16th, tragedy struck. According to Police Chief Kevin Davis, Justin shot his wife multiple times in the basement of the home. Immediately afterward, Justin ran upstairs to the primary bedroom, where he fatally shot himself using the same firearm. Police stated there was no standoff and no meaningful pause between the shooting of his wife and his own death. Minutes later, the couple's teenage son called police and reported that his mother was seriously injured and that he did not know where his father was.
Scout 440 Alpha, 441 Alpha, Front Alpha, Stripper, a stabbing area. Car stating that his dad might have stabbed his mom, saying that she's laying on the ground, bleeding, can see holes in her shirt. Heard a fight about a minute ago, unknown where his father is now. Watch for a director en route. Fire department's going to be en route as well. 012.
435 Charlie.
435 Charlie.
Once here, the husband's not going to be here. It's going to look like an obvious DOA. I don't have a pulse.
Direct, 0015.
435 Charlie, we're going to be in the basement.
Direct.
435 Charlie, I haven't cleared the house out yet, but I have the son with me downstairs. If units on scene to clear the house, husband's car is still in the driveway.
Direct, units en route, go ahead, clear the house. Subject's car is still going to be in the driveway.
941 Alpha, a couple of us are pulling up on scene. Go all clear the house.
Direct.
Get into the front door or the back. Come in through the front door.
K9 15, myself and K9 14 are going to be at the front door.
Direct.
K9 15, you may provide a description of what we're looking for.
Charlie, are you able to ask the son?
A description real quick. 435 Charlie. Subject description is going to be a black male, about 5'10", 5'11". He's going to be clean shaven with short hair.
Direct. K9 14 15. Also be advised, RTC did put a picture of the subject in Informer.
Possible suspect to be a black male, 5'1", clean shaven with short hair. Not found at the scene. 0019.
431 Alpha, we got another subject down in the bedroom upstairs.
Direct, 0023.
I think this is going to be our subject. He's got a,
When officers arrived, they found both adults deceased. Dr. Cerina was pronounced dead at the scene, and Justin was found upstairs with a self-inflicted wound. Investigators later recovered surveillance footage that corroborated the sequence of events. Fairfax children were not physically harmed, but authorities emphasized that the incident was deeply traumatic for them. Victim services personnel were brought to the scene immediately, and the children were later placed in the care of other family members. Police stated that the children's well-being remains a priority as the investigation concludes. What remains is the loss of Dr. Cerina Fairfax, remembered by colleagues as dedicated, meticulous, and deeply committed to her profession, and the collapse of a family whose private conflict ended in irreversible violence. For the children left behind, the events of April 16th are not a news headline, but a permanent rupture that will shape the rest of their lives. Let's continue to pray for her kids. Just please don't forget to continue to check on your loved ones.